Alrighty, February 27th, Thursday, 2025, because I skipped a day. I didn't do my walk yesterday, mostly just because I was losing track of time, like I usually do. Day's been alright so far. Woke up early at 9. I was feeling a little iffy, so I didn't have breakfast until like 12. Spent the whole hour gaming, and then I died on Grim Quest. I mentioned it, I think, in my last one, but I had permadeath on for that, like on Grim difficulty, so I ended up getting too cocky, so I died. And normally, if I ever die, I like quickly switch out of the page, or like I close the tab, but I didn't, so I just lost all my progress, so I had to start all over again. So, I mean, I started with a better build. I didn't go for Gunslinger this time. Instead, I went for magical build, which is the same build that I do for like the mobile version of the game that I play, the mobile version of GrimQuest. So, but anyway, I was just feeling iffy, so I think it was my water, because, well, a couple things to note for yesterday and today. For yesterday, just did commission, set up the little umbrella that we have in the patio, so I could block it from having dust and stuff get in my food when I sit out there and eat. So I didn't set it up correctly because there's like 2 little poles for the umbrella, so I ended up only using one. The other one was in the storage closet. It wasn't in the little package, but thankfully my dad showed me how to do it, so it made more sense because the umbrella was tilting over, and I was like, this is not how you set it up correctly. I don't think so. So after that was set up correctly, went out to do some errands, because my mom's doing this little pop-up nacho thing. So nothing too fancy. It's just because she's part of the little fundraiser committee at her work. So, and her burrito thing went well. So I think for the nachos, they're doing, typical nacho cheese, and then jalapenos, and I think little like pieces of pork or sausage, because we went to Smart & Final, and then we went to Walmart to find like cheaper but bulk versions of like some sausage. I also had to do a little refund for this LED, what do you call them? It was like a mirror for makeup, vanity, because I remember during Christmas my Secret Santa was my mom, so I wanted to get her that, but the light wasn't working. Like when I bought it and I tested it out once I was done Christmas shopping, it just wouldn't work. So even with batteries, or like plugging it into the wall, because it had a cord, so if you didn't have batteries you could just plug it to the wall, but nothing was working, so I had to get it refunded. And I unfortunately didn't have the receipt, but fortunately, because it's Walmart, they allow you, well, for some items, unless it's like, because I remember the lady telling me yesterday, if it was discounted or like part of a specific like set, like Halloween or Christmas, then I wouldn't be able to return it, or if it was over 90 days, or if I didn't have the card that I paid with. But thankfully they were able to look it up. I also remembered looking it up on Chase to see the date. So it was like 3 days before Christmas. I remember it so specifically. So I gave her the date card, and then, yeah, I think the money's probably coming tomorrow, I think. Or if it's already in my account, I kind of didn't look or get a notification. Usually most transfers are done by like 7 p.m. during the weekday. Sometimes just like 3 a.m. or so. I remember when I went to Universal 2 years ago during Halloween nights, and well, I was pretty much broke from buying merchandise that whole time because I'd never been to Universal. That's a whole night on its own, but thankfully I had whatever commission money that was being sent in, like pretty much sent to my account that like morning, like 2 a.m.-ish. So I was like, oh crap, cool, I'm not broke. So, because I think I had like $5 in my account, because the last thing I bought was like this, I think it was a Yoshi shirt, like pajamas. So they didn't have the like shorts or like pajama bottoms, but the thing is, from Walmart, or from previous Walmart visit, there was this Yoshi design pajama bottoms. So technically I made my own set from one Universal, officially licensed product, and then the Walmart Nintendo, issued merchandise. So worked out for me. But yeah, thankfully got the mirror returned. It was within the 90 days, so hooray for that. nothing else I really need to return or just. Well, I did have to destroy my stainless steel like container thing. I think it's like 40 ounce or something. So it had rust like in the straw part, which is like the hardest part to clean because it's so thin. Even you can try to fit your pinky in there, but you're not gonna reach the middle. So I could see in the light some yellow gunk and rust, and even trying to scrape at it with a knife or a fork, something thin to like cut it through, it just wouldn't go through. So, but I remember the brand that it is, Awala. I looked on their website one day and I saw that they have these cool little like 2-in-1 brush. So it's like a big brush for the main part and then a small tiny little brush, with bristles that are very flexible and don't break on you like a toothbrush. And basically you can clean the straw and the thin part where you're drinking from. So I kind of want to get that or save up for that. I don't really need the 40 ounce because I didn't always drink it all in one setting unless it was like summer. So I think the 24 ounce is fine. I think they have a bundle. So like a 24 ounce, the little bottom cap for like if you're setting it down and you don't want to scratch it, and then the little cleaning brush. So I think they have that bundle for like 40 or so. It's not too bad. I'll probably save it. Or I think they have Afterpay. I could probably set that up. I've never really used that. I know it's kind of like layaway from Kmart whenever that was still around. It's kind of an easy system to at least pay. Pay half of it now, or just do it over the course of like every week or every other week. I don't know. That's a pretty convenient system for not everybody who can afford it right then and there, or want to put like a down payment on it. So I think I'm starting to get used to 8-pound dumbbells. Well, slowly. Although I think it's mostly just because I've been eating more protein, chicken mainly. Because I don't really eat beef, pork. You're not supposed to eat a lot of because, you don't want bacteria in your system. And then too much red meat is also bad for your heart. So, kind of just keeping these in moderation. And then God knows I'd never try tofu. I don't really believe in that vegan seafood stuff. It's not for me, not at all. But I'm sure if you season it well, because like I remember once my mom tried lobster cakes, and surprisingly, I actually liked them. I think even the most disgusting foods or meats you wouldn't want to eat, if you season it right and you don't like dump a bunch of salt or like ranch or whatever, I think you'll actually make something that's both nutritious to you and actually edible. So, like many people hate broccoli or asparagus, but you just gotta season it well and dump a bunch of like sodium on it, and it'll actually be good. You'll at least be able to stomach it for the most part. God damn. I kind of miss Dairy Queen. Their milkshakes are actually pretty good. I think probably Dairy Queen is the only place I can think I've actually said a milkshake was like well worth it. And I know the worst one I've had was from Wiener Schnitzel. So, although it was only one time back in California, but the milkshake was way too sweet. Like, I like chocolate milkshakes a good amount. I don't have many nowadays, but that one was just way too much chocolate. It just was not good. So, not so much like a sugar rush, but it's too powerful. Like, when you see the Instagram videos or those like gimmick stores around the strip or something with those donuts that have like ice cream on it, or like a fuck ton of Sour Patch Kids or Skittles, it's pretty gross. I can't really picture any normal person wanting to eat that, especially things like Pink Box, because that's way too sweet, or the glaze that's on Krispy Kreme. I think the only donut places I ever really trust is Winchell's and just any local donut places that are actually around here. Although at least here in Vegas and California, there's a lot less local donut places you can really eat at. So Winchell's is probably the closest thing you'll get. As for Dunkin' Donuts though, I don't really know. I usually just get the croissant like sandwiches from there. I never really tried the donuts, although I probably should one of these days. So I usually just either get their breakfast sandwich, or I think I get their donut holes, and that's about it. So I should actually try their donuts one day. Pool still closed. And this is the second one, at least on this side. The other one I think I showed like days ago. That's all the way over there. Water. You can faintly see like foam and debris in it. I think that'll conclude today's little self-reflection, meditation, therapy, quote unquote, in the biggest quotations ever. I remember walking this spot back in the old apartment we used to live at here. So before I moved to the other one in July. It was a nice day. It was a nice time. I still remember carrying the mattress like in the car, having to stick our hand out of the window to hold it down. I'll never forget that day. But alas, that's past, and right now our next step is just getting out of here. Don't know where, don't know when. But hopefully that day comes. And hopefully things get better for all of us. May tomorrow be a good finish to the week. Well, I guess anyway, Sunday is the last day of the week, but yeah. Sentiment still stands. May things get better for all of us. End of Thursday, 2025, 2020. I already said that. February 27th.